Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Nikhil. So, continuing the ECG class. So, in today's class, we'll be seeing about sinus rhythms, premature complex, and escape beats. So, coming to sinus rhythms. Before going to sinus rhythm, we shall see how to calculate the heart rate in ECG. So, heart rate is calculated by dividing 1500 by number of small squares between two R waves. It is calculated by using dividing 1500 by number of small squares between two R waves, that is between RR interval, or other way is dividing 300 divided by number of large box between two R waves. Either this or in this way we can calculate the heart rate. Further, in case if there is irregular R waves, what we do is, so irregular R wave, especially in atrial fibrillation or flutter and all, what we see is we count the number of R waves in 3-second ECG strip. So that would be 3-second ECG strip would be 15 large box. So C for 15 large box, take it as X. So number of R waves in 3-second strip is X. Now you have to cross multiply for 60 seconds, that is X into 60 divided by 3, and you'll get the heart rate. So in general, what we do is we'll see the RR interval. If it is less than 3 large box, if RR interval is less than 3 large box, then it is taken as tachycardia, and if it is more than 5 large box, we take it as bradycardia. So this is how we calculate the heart rate, that is 1500 divided by number of small squares between two R waves, or 300 divided by number of large squares between two R waves. So this is heart rate, and in case of irregular R waves, we calculate the number of R waves in 3-second strip and cross multiply to get the heart rate in 60 seconds. Okay. Next, in general, RR interval, if it is less than 3 large box, it is tachycardia, and if it is more than 5 large box, it is bradycardia. So coming to sinus rhythms, the first one would be sinus arrhythmia. In sinus arrhythmia, P wave is always normal. Because it is a sinus wave, which means that the depolarization or the electrical activity is from SA node. So since SA node is activated and that is the pacemaker here, the P wave is normal with normal PR interval, and always P wave is followed by QRS wave. Here heart rate increases on inspiration, and reduces on expiration. Reduces on expiration. So in sinus arrhythmia, the P wave is normal. Since the pacemaker is SA node, there is normal PR interval. Always P wave is followed by QRS, but the heart rate increases on inspiration and reduces on expiration. So this is sinus arrhythmia. Coming to sinus tachycardia. Sinus tachycardia. In sinus tachycardia, heart rate is increased. So again in sinus tachycardia, the waves are normal. There is always P wave. QRS, P wave is followed by QRS complex. Everything is there. Just that heart rate is more. Whereas the difference with sinus arrhythmia is it do not alter with respiration. Do not alter with respiration as seen in sinus arrhythmia. Then coming to sinus bradycardia. Sinus bradycardia. Here heart rate is less. Again there is, it do not alter with respiration as seen in sinus arrhythmia. So in sinus arrhythmia, P wave is normal. There is normal PR interval. P wave is followed by QRS complex, but heart rate increases on inspiration and reduces on expiration. This is sinus arrhythmia. Whereas in sinus tachycardia, heart rate is increased. The difference is it does not alter with respiration. Whereas in sinus bradycardia, the same thing, heart rate is reduced heart rate is less, whereas it do not alter with respiration. So this is about sinus rhythms. So now let's come to premature beats. Premature beats. So premature beats, the synonyms for premature beats are, it is also called as ectopic beats. Ectopic beats, or it is also called as extrasystolic beats. Extrasystolic beats. So now let's see what is this premature beats. So this is an beat extra. This is an extra beat compared to the normal sinus rhythm. So this is an extra beat compared to the normal sinus rhythm. So it is called as extrasystolic beats. And this beats comes from a site other than SA node. So there is ectopic focus of beat production. There is ectopic focus. Ectopic focus meaning outside SA node. It is not from SA node, it is from somewhere else. So it is called as ectopic beats. Because it is outside SA node, it is called as ectopic beats. And this beat comes prior to next sinus beat. It comes prior to next sinus beat, hence it is called as premature beats. So premature beats, it is also called as ectopic beat or extrasystolic beats. It is called extrasystolic because it is an extra beat compared to the normal sinus beat. And this beat comes outside the SA node in the ectopic focus, hence it is called as ectopic beats. And this wave is always prior to the next sinus beat, hence it is called as premature beats. Since it comes prematurely to the next sinus beat, it is called as premature. Prior to this one, it is called as premature beats. So now premature beats can be classified into two types. Premature beats is classified into two types. So the first one is supraventricular premature beats. Supraventricular premature beats and ventricular premature beats. Ventricular premature beats. So any beat occurring above the ventricle is called as supraventricular premature beats, and below is ventricular premature beats. Again, the supraventricular premature beats can be divided into two types. That is, so above the ventricle we have atria and nodes, AV nodes as pacemakers. So this premature beats or ectopic beats can arise from atria, forming atrial ectopic beats or atrial premature beats, or it can be nodal or it is also called as junctional, nodal or junctional premature beats, or nodal or junction ectopic beats. Now let's know how to identify each beat, each things. So how to identify different types of premature beats. So before going to that, we need to know something about compensatory pause. So these premature beats will have compensatory pause. So we have to study about compensatory pause first. So let's say PQRS. So this is the normal sinus rhythm. So let's see what happens in premature beats. So consider this is the normal sinus beats and this is premature beats. So normally consider the gap between this is 4 small squares, and this is continuously maintained everywhere. Let's see what happens. See, in premature beats this is 4 small squares, whereas here you have got an premature beat. So this is a premature beat. You have got a premature beat here. So the next beat should have been here. The next sinus beat should have been here. But since there is a premature beat which has occurred prior to the next sinus beat, there is a pause. And then there comes normal sinus beat again. So there is a pause seen in premature beats. Let's see why there is a pause. So this is compensatory pause. So this is because the premature beat is occurred prior to the next sinus beat. To compensate this duration of time for next sinus beat, there is a pause. After the pause, there is normal sinus beat and the normal sinus rhythm is established. So this is the concept of compensatory pause. Now compensatory pause can be of two types. It can be complete compensatory pause, or it can be incomplete compensatory pause. So complete compensatory pause means, see, for example, this can be an example of complete compensatory pause. See, this is the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. Same here, first wave, second wave. Here there is a premature beat has occurred, so there is a pause where the fourth wave has established. So this gap, this compensation is complete, because when you compare the above normal ECG wave, so the distance between second and fourth wave is being maintained here also. Even though there is a premature beat here, the distance between second wave and fourth wave is maintained by this compensatory pause. So this is called as compensatory pause, and This is called as compensatory pause, and this is seen in ventricular premature beats. This is seen in ventricular premature beats and sometimes in nodal premature beats. Sometimes in nodal premature beats. Now, incomplete pause. In incomplete pause, this distance, even though the pause is there, this distance is not maintained. For example, the wave would have occurred somewhere here. The next sinus wave would have occurred somewhere here. So this pause is not compensating it completely. So it is called as incomplete compensatory pause, seen in supraventricular premature beats, with exception that nodal premature beats can be complete or it can be incomplete. Nodal can be complete or incomplete. So let's see why there is complete compensation in ventricular premature beat and incomplete compensation in supraventricular premature beats. So considering heart, so right atria, right ventricle, left atria, left ventricle, there is SA node. This is SA node and this is AV node. SA node and AV node. So normally what happens is SA node is the pacemaker. From here the conduction goes in this direction. Now in supraventricular premature beats, so certain focus of atria start becoming pacemaker, and this contributes to the pacemaker activity. So there is electrical activity, so there is depolarization or electrical activity beginning at this atrial focus. So from here the wave is going down through the AV node. So also this electrical activity will also depolarize the SA node. So SA node in supraventricular premature beats, this premature beat depolarizes SA node earlier than normal sinus rhythm. So SA node is depolarized earlier compared to the next sinus beat. So this is the next sinus beat would be little earlier compared to normally what it would have been occurred. So this normal sinus rhythm occurs bit earlier because it is depolarized earlier by the previous premature beat. So there is incomplete compensatory pause. Whereas in ventricular premature beats, the ventricular premature beats, this foci doesn't go all the way, or before going all the way and triggering the SA node, there would have been a normal sinus beat which would have been given by SA node. So there is complete compensation in ventricular premature beats, whereas there is incomplete compensation in supraventricular premature beats. Now let's study each type of premature beats. So first, coming on to atrial premature beat. So atrial premature beat. So in atrial premature beat, there is always P wave. Always P wave is present. Since P wave signifies the activity of atria, that is atrial contraction, and in atrial premature beat there is always atrial contraction. So there is always P wave. P wave is always present, but P wave morphology is slightly altered. P wave morphology is slightly altered. This is because the normal P wave is due to SA nodal depolarization. But in premature beat, the P wave is due to atrial depolarization, where atrial foci acts as a pacemaker. So the P wave morphology is slightly altered. Since this electrical activity from atria always pass through AV node to ventricle, so ventricular contraction is normal, providing normal QRS complex. Since the atrial wave is going through the AV node and there is no pathology in AV node, the PR interval which signifies the nodal conduction, so is normal. Then this is associated with incomplete compensatory pause. Incomplete compensatory pause. This incomplete compensatory pause is not the criteria to diagnose, is not always the criteria to diagnose atrial premature beat, as in some there could be complete compensatory pause. So usually it is incomplete, but it is not a criteria to diagnose atrial premature beat. So in atrial premature beat, we see P wave which is with slight altered morphology with normal QRS and normal PR interval, and usually associated with incomplete compensatory pause. Coming on to next, nodal premature beat. Nodal premature beat. So this nodal premature beat can be divided into upper nodal premature beat and lower nodal premature beat. So this AV node is divided into two parts, where it can occur from upper part or the premature can occur from lower part. So in upper nodal premature beat, P wave is inverted. Because this is the heart, this is the SA node, this is the AV node. So the pacemaker or the premature beat is from AV node here. So it is going down and depolarizing the ventricle. Also this is going above and depolarizing the SA node. So as I told before, SA node is connected to negative terminal. SA node is connected to negative terminal on ECG. As I told in my previous class, this positive electron is moving towards negative electron. So plus into minus is minus. So you get a negative deflection in ECG. So P wave is inverted. So the P wave, atrial contraction, P wave is inverted in upper nodal premature beats. Then in lower nodal premature beat, P wave is absent. Because here this P wave coincides with the QRS complex. So since the time duration taken for the ventricular activity and atrial activity is almost same, this P wave coincides with QRS complex. Here P wave coincides with QRS, so P wave is absent. Whereas here impulses move in opposite direction, you get an inverted P wave. So after this, the other features of nodal premature beat is common to both upper and lower nodal premature beat. That is, PR interval is shortened. PR interval is shortened. As I told, the normal activity of AV node is not picked up by ECG, and there is flat line on ECG for AV node, that is PR interval. Since the premature beat is occurring in the node, so the nodal activity is disturbed. The normal nodal conduction is disturbed, so forming short PR interval. And this electrical activity always moves towards the ventricle, forming normal QRS complex. So QRS complex is normal and this can be incomplete or complete compensatory pause. Usually it is incomplete, but can also be complete compensatory pause. Incomplete or complete compensatory pause. So in nodal premature beat, we have two types, upper node and lower node. The upper node P wave is inverted because impulse move in the opposite direction, whereas in the lower nodal premature beat, P wave is absent because P wave coincides with QRS complex. Also in nodal premature beat, PR interval is shortened, QRS complexes are normal, and nodal premature beat may or may not be associated with it can be incomplete or complete compensatory pause. So this is about nodal premature beat. So another thing, so how to say it is complete or incomplete compensatory pause in ECG? So compensatory pause, how to say it as complete or incomplete? So we need to do few calculation, that is RR interval between normal wave and premature beat, plus R interval of premature beat and next sinus beat. This should be equal to twice the normal RR interval. To say this as complete compensatory pause. If not, then it is incomplete compensatory pause. So RR interval between normal wave and premature beat added with RR interval of premature beat and next sinus beat should be twice the normal RR interval. So consider a premature complex. Okay, here we have to take RR interval of normal wave and premature beat, that is the distance between this and this, consider it as A. Next you need to add this with RR interval of premature beat and next sinus beat, that is this distance, consider this as B. So A plus B should be equal to twice the RR interval, normal RR interval, that is distance between this is a normal, these two are normal sinus beat, so the distance between three, consider it as C. So A plus B should be equal to twice the C. So if A plus B is equal to twice the C, then it is complete compensatory pause. If not, it is incomplete compensatory pause. So moving on to next premature beat after nodal premature beat, moving on to next premature beat, that is nodal premature beat, ventricular premature beat. ventricular premature beat. So in ventricular premature beat, there is no P wave. No P wave in premature beat. So ventricular premature beat doesn't have P wave. Since the ectopic foci is from the ventricle, there is no P wave. And the QRS complex is wide and bizarre. It is wide and bizarre. Then there is complete compensatory pause. Complete compensatory pause. Again, this is not a essential criteria. So in ventricular premature beat, there is no P wave in ventricular premature beat. QRS complex is wide and bizarre, and there is complete compensatory pause. Now let's see few variations in ventricular premature beats. So that is something called as interpolated ventricular premature beat. Here, interpolated ventricular premature beat. Here, there is an extra beat in addition to normal sinus rhythm. So there is an extra wave in addition to normal sinus rhythm with no pause. There is no pause, and PR interval might be prolonged. PR interval may be prolonged. So this would be something like this. So here, this is the interpolated beat. So this is an interpolated premature beat where there is no P wave, and there is no pause. This is the first beat, second beat, third beat. So the sinus beat have occurred where it should have been occurred with an extra beat which is interpolated between two normal waves. So this is called as interpolated ventricular premature beats. So the next is there is something as couplets. Couplets in ventricular premature beats where there is two continuous ectopic beats or premature beats. When there is two continuous ectopic beats or ventricular premature beats, it is called as couplets. And multiple ventricular premature beats. Multiple ventricular premature beats. If there is more than 5 ventricular premature beats per minute, then it is called as multiple ventricular premature beats, and this is a risk factor for ventricular tachycardia. So this is a risk factor for ventricular tachycardia. Then fourth one, multifocal ventricular premature beats. Here each premature beat will have different morphology. Each premature beat will have different morphology. This is because each foci, each premature beat is occurring from different foci of ventricles. So each premature beat will have different morphology depending on the foci where it has been arrived. So multifocal premature beat, each premature beat will have different morphologies. Then ventricular bigeminy. ventricular bigeminy is every alternating beat is a premature beat. So every alternating beat is a premature beat. So even in multifocal premature beat, sometimes there is every alternating beat would be a premature beat, but you cannot tell it as ventricular bigeminy, because in ventricular bigeminy it is unifocal in origin. And the morphology would be same. So ventricular bigeminy, every alternating beat is a premature beat and it is unifocal in origin. Then ventricular trigeminy. Here in ventricular trigeminy there is two normal waves followed by one ectopic. So every third beat is a ectopic beat. So it is called ventricular trigeminy. Also it is unifocal in origin. Ventricular trigeminy is also unifocal in origin. So again, ventricular trigeminy cannot be called as multifocal premature beat. So this is about ventricular premature beat, where there is no P wave in premature beat. QRS complexes is wide and bizarre with complete compensatory pause. Where the different types we have, where there is interpolated ventricular premature beat, where extra beat in addition to the normal sinus rhythm and there is no pause. PR interval may be prolonged. And couplets, where two continuous ectopic beats occur. Then coming to multiple ventricular premature beat, where there is more than 5 ectopics in a minute. When there is more than 5 ventricular premature beats in a minute, it is called as ventricular premature beat, multiple ventricular premature beat, which is a risk factor for development of ventricular tachycardia. Next, coming to multifocal ventricular premature beat, where each beat will have different morphology because the foci of origin is different for each wave. Then ventricular bigeminy, alternating beat is a premature beat with unifocal in origin. And ventricular trigeminy, where there is two normal wave followed by one ectopic wave, which is unifocal in origin. So now let's see a few ECGs. So here this is normal beat 1, 2, 3. So here if you see, there is a premature beat with the pause here, and there is again normal sinus beat established. So if you see this beat, if you see this premature beat, you can see there is P wave. You can see this P wave. So P wave is present. Then the QRS complex is normal. So since P wave is there and QRS complex is normal, it cannot be ventricular. It should be supraventricular premature beat. And P wave morphology is also normal. It is not inverted. So it cannot be junctional. So it is atrial premature beat. This is atrial premature beat. And if you see the pause, if you calculate the pause, so you have to take distance between these two. So it is 1 large square, 2 large square with 3 small square. And now you have to add it to the distance between this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 2 small squares. So 5 plus 2, 6, 7. 7 5s are, so 7 5s are 35. It is 35 large squares with 3 plus 2, 5 small squares. So it is 40. Now the two normal RR interval, twice the normal RR interval, if it is 40, then it is complete compensatory pause. So now let's see the difference between two normal RR interval. So if you take here, this is two normal RR waves. If you take here 1 large square, 2 large square, 3 large square with plus plus 4, this is 4 large squares, plus 3 small squares. So 4 it is, 4 5s are 20, 20, 23 it is. So twice this, it should be twice this. 2 into 23, it is 46, whereas this is 40. So this pause is not compensating completely. So it is incomplete compensatory pause. So it is incomplete compensatory pause. So this is a ECG of atrial premature beat. Here this is normal 1 2 3 4. So here there is a premature beat with again normal beat established here with the pause. So now let's see the P wave. So P wave is present. So it is not ventricular premature beat, but it is inverted. P wave is inverted with normal QRS. QRS is also normal. So since there is P wave, it cannot be premature beat, and P wave is inverted, it cannot be atrial premature beat. So this is junctional or nodal premature beat, and since this is junctional premature beat, since the P wave is inverted, it is arising from upper node. It is arising from upper node. So this is upper nodal premature beat. Here again, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now here there is a premature beat with again normal beat established here, and there is a pause. So if you see the premature beat, there is no P wave. So it cannot be atrial premature beat, and it cannot be upper nodal premature beat. It can be either lower nodal premature beat or ventricular premature beat. But since if you see the QRS complex is normal. And it is not wide and bizarre. So it is not ventricular premature beat, but this is a junctional premature beat, and since P wave is absent, it is lower nodal premature beat. Here this is a normal beat, and then there is a premature beat here with the pause. If you see the premature beat, there is no P wave. So this is not supraventricular, it is ventricular premature beat, and QRS complex is also wide and bizarre. So it is ventricular premature beat, and if you see, every alternating beat is a premature beat. See, you can see a premature beat, normal rhythm, premature beat. So every alternating beat is a premature beat, and it is a when this ventricular premature beat is a ventricular bigeminy, and it is unifocal in origin. You can see, compare both the premature beat and QRS complex morphology is same. So it is unifocal in origin, it is ventricular bigeminy. Here this is normal beat, and this is a premature beat with the pause here. So if you see this premature beat, there is no P wave again, and this QRS complex is wide and bizarre. So it is ventricular premature beat. And if you see, after every 2 sinus waves, there is one premature beat. So after every 2 beat, there is a premature beat. So this is ventricular trigemini. This is ventricular trigemini. And these beats are unifocal in origin. So the morphology of these premature beats are same. It is unifocal in origin. So it is ventricular trigemini. If you see here, these two are premature beats. These two are premature beats, and two premature beats have occurred continuously. So this is a couplet. This is a couplet. Here again normal beat with a premature beat, normal beat with a premature beat, and a pause here. So if you see this carefully, there is no P wave. There is no P wave. This wave should not be confused. These waves should not be confused as P waves. These waves are T waves. These are T waves of previous sinus waves. So these are T waves of previous sinus waves and not P waves of the premature beat. So there is again no P wave. There is no P wave. QRS is wide and bizarre. QRS is wide and bizarre. So this is a ventricular premature beat with the pause. Again if you see here, this looks like a P wave, but it is T wave of previous sinus beat. So this is ventricular premature beat. Ventricular premature beat. Here this is a normal beat. Normal. This is a premature beat. This is a premature beat, but if you see here, there is no pause. There is no pause. So there is a premature beat and there is no pause. And if you see the premature beat, there is no P wave, and QRS is wide and bizarre. So it is ventricular premature beat. It is it is arising from ventricle, but since there is no pause and this premature beat is between two normal sinus beat without a pause, it is interpolated ventricular premature beat. This is a interpolated ventricular premature beat. Here again normal beat, premature beat, normal beat without pause. There is no pause, and again no P wave. No P wave. QRS is wide and bizarre. QRS is wide and bizarre. So this is again origin is from ventricles. Since there is no pause, this is again interpolated ventricular premature beat. This is a normal wave. This is a premature beat with pause. Again normal wave with premature beat. And if you see the premature beat, there is no P wave, and QRS is wide and bizarre. So this is ventricular premature beat. Ventricular premature beat. Again, if you see the morphology of this premature beat and this premature beat, it is different. So indicating that each premature beat is arising from different foci of ventricle. So this is multifocal ventricular premature beat. This is multifocal ventricular premature beat. Now let's start on with next topic, that is escape beats. escape beats. So before going to escape beats, we'll have to know few terminologies. First one, sinus pause. Sinus pause. So here so you can see there is a pause in this sinus wave, in this wave but there is no premature beats. These are normal sinus beats without premature beats, and there is a pause. So this pause is called as sinus pause. So here SA node pauses for a while. SA node pauses for a while. SA node pauses for a while and starts again. Since there is a pause due to SA node and again SA node starts and all the waves are due to SA node, so there is no premature beats. So this is called as sinus beats. And the other thing you have to see is you have to check on with previous T wave. You have to see on previous T waves. So the other criteria is SA node pause. Here to say it as sinus pause, so there is a pause between two beats, two sinus beats. Pause between two sinus beats and no premature beats. Pause between two sinus beats and there is no premature beats, and previous T wave contour should be normal. This is because similar kind of pattern is seen in atrial premature beats. So what happens is in few atrial premature beats, the premature beat merges with the previous QRS complex. So here you can see there is a pause, but there is no premature beats. But still this is not a sinus wave because see the T wave contour. If you see the T wave contour, this is altered. So what happens is this premature beat, the premature beat which has occurred here has merged with this normal sinus beat, so altering the T wave contour. So this is actually atrial premature beat with the pause. So this is not sinus pause. So whenever you see a sinus pause, look for T wave contour. If the T wave contour is normal, it is sinus pause, and if it is altered, if the T wave contour is altered, it is atrial premature beat. This is atrial premature beat. Next, now let's come to escape beats. So what is escape beat? So normally after sinus pause there is starting of SA node. When in few time sinus pause is prolonged. That is usually more than 1.5 seconds. So in such case this is called as sinus arrest. And this sinus arrest may resolve after some time, giving a normal sinus beat. And then again normal sinus beats are established. If this sinus arrest is not resolved, and if SA node fails, SA node fails to start, if SA node fails to start, then there is firing of other pacemaker. Firing of other pacemakers, that is atria, node or ventricles. Atria, node or ventricles can fire again, forming escape beats. Escape beats. So normally other pacemakers pacemakers other than SA node are kept under inhibitory control of SA node. Since in sinus arrest, SA node fails to resolve and start again, this other pacemakers escape the inhibitory control of SA node, and hence it is called as escape beats. Since the pacemakers escape from the inhibitory control of SA node, it is called as escape beats. So again, escape beats can be atrial, nodal or ventricular escape beats. So first let's come to atrial escape beats. Atrial escape beats. In atrial escape beats, P wave is present. P wave is present, but P wave morphology is slightly altered, and QRS complex and T wave is normal. So in atrial escape beats, P wave is present, P wave morphology is slightly altered, and QRS and T wave is normal. So QRS and T wave is normal. So it looks like, usually escape beat looks like sinus beat with the sinus arrest, and then there is a escape beat. After sinus arrest, there is a escape beat. So escape beat is after a sinus arrest. So in atrial escape beat, P wave is normal, P wave is present, P wave morphology is slightly altered, and QRST complexes are normal. Next, coming to nodal or junctional escape beat. Nodal or junctional escape beat. So in nodal or junctional escape beat, P wave is inverted. P wave is inverted, or P wave is absent. P wave is inverted or P wave is absent. And again, QRS complex and T wave is normal. QRS complex and T wave is normal. So this is nodal or junctional escape beat. Next, coming to ventricular escape beat. Ventricular escape beat. In ventricular escape beat, since the escape beat occurs in ventricular complex and it is not conducted to atria, there is no P wave. There is no P wave. Again, in ventricular escape beat, there is wide and bizarre QRS. Wide and bizarre QRS complex. Wide and bizarre QRS complex. And T wave is inverted. T wave is inverted. So this is in ventricular escape beat, where there is no P wave, wide and bizarre QRS complex, and T wave is inverted. So now let's see few ECGs. Here you can see a sinus arrest. You can see a sinus arrest. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 large squares. So 1 large square is equal to 0.2 seconds. So 5 into 0.2 would be 5 into 0.2 would be 1. So this pause is for 1 second. So there is a sinus arrest. So there is a sinus arrest followed by a wave. Followed by a wave. So this is a escape beat now. So here in escape beat, if you see, it has P wave. So it cannot be ventricular complex. It is above the ventricular. So it is a supraventricular part. And if you see the P wave contour, if you compare with the other, it is altered. So P wave is present, but P wave is present with altered morphology. And QRS complex is normal. And if you see, QRS complexes are normal. The QRS complex is normal. Even T wave is normal. So this is atrial escape beat. Atrial escape beat. Here there is sinus arrest. And there is a escape beat. If you see the escape beat, there is no P wave. So it is not atrial. But QRS complex is normal. QRS complex is normal. Again, T wave is also normal. T wave is also normal. So this is not ventricular escape beat, and this is junctional or nodal. Junctional or nodal escape beat. Here you can see these are escape beat with a sinus arrest in between. So here every beat is a escape beat. Every beat is a escape beat, and every beat is a escape beat, and you can't see a sinus beat here. And this escape beat doesn't have P wave, and QRS is wide and bizarre. QRS is wide and bizarre, and you can see the inverted T waves. You can see inverted T waves. Inverted T waves. QRS is wide and bizarre. So this is ventricular escape beat. Ventricular escape beat. Thank you.